Hey guys, Shade Raven here. This time a quick little instructional video on the new drag and drop for the Dwarven Heritage. So you can have all your Dwarven drag and drop features and feat powers available. Yeah, I know. That was pretty terrible, but let's see if maybe my little module here that I'm going to be that I've thrown out onto the forge might be better than that accent. So again, you'll see when you activate the library, you'll see again the SRD&D for drag and drop. This time for the Dwarven entry. Little storyboard shows you what I've added into it. Um, there's a few of the, I guess I put extra space in there, but a few of these heritage powers that look like they could use, entries that for easier application of them during the game, or at least reference. I want to talk a little bit about why I don't necessarily include everything. Some things already automated. Some things, which you build them into, usually affects things, more permanently on a different side. Like getting something gives you a lore skill, and then you go ahead and add that lore, or training and new skills and things like that. So I'm not going to go over that. One of the ones I do want to talk about real quick is stone cutting, which I didn't add in here. I could have easily have added an entry for this where you could have clicked on something to give you a +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks. But I'm going to be honest, if there was a push for having things like that included, I'd probably do it. But for my own approach, I tend to just come into the skills tab for stuff like this. Come down and just say, create an entry. I'll do like perception stone cutting, and then kind of replicate what you see up there as perception. So you go to wisdom, and then just put in something here that shows that when this applies, then you'll just come in here and make use of it there. But if if someone came and really said, no, this is extremely useful when it comes to having it on an action tab, so you can apply it already with ease. We would really like to see that. You can see from the old one, we'd set up like a skills and actions spell class, added that there, and basically for the drag and drop thing, same sort of thing. So if you've taken a elemental heart dwarf at first level, taking that heritage, um, then it'd be nice to have the ability to make use of this, even though it's just a frequency once per day at hand. For some stuff like this, I might even go as far as to say, since this has a every 2 levels thereafter damage increases, this is one of those ones I talked about before, where you want to have class level in there to show what it's going to do, and then you would just take this and add it to your skills and actions. But I want to talk about that real quick. This one has one to date use. Sometimes, for me anyways, I would come in here, give it a spell level where you could set the number of uses and click it off when it's done, and then come in here, and you'll notice now off of the combat tab have this. Now I take my drag and drop entry here, have Dwarven Emanation, come down and show that, yeah, you'll get that as a daily use, and now you'll see it as a new power, dragged right from there. It'll do the reflex save, although again in this you'll have to set up all this information up here based on your class DC or spell DC, depending on which type of character you are. In this case, we know that Nario has wizardry, so we'll be able to say that he has a train proficiency as a wizard, which would be intelligence, and that way it would show his energy emanation now with a DC 17 reflex save. As a basic, you could see, because it had half damage there. It's set to cold, but when you really drill down on here and look what it's actually saying. I'm not sure why I decided to pick cold out of the middle of this, but I put in here a choice. So you can come in here eventually and add and say, well, I want him to be an electricity dwarf, so I want his powers to be from that. Just clear that stuff out real quick. And I must have spelled electricity wrong, so I should probably Wow, I really messed that up. Electricity. uh, and now you'd have that. Well, I'll go out and fix that here eventually, but it'll be out there. You'll have to edit that field anyway, so to be honest, that's not really a huge deal. But yes, now he's got the electricity thing. Does D6 damage. You can use it once per day. Once we click that off, bam, it's gone. He had used it that day, but we'll come back. And oops. Yeah, I have used this before. Don't worry about that. We'll give him a dwarven. We gotta once again say that he's got it available. Go ahead and give him an overnight rest. Give it back, and if we were to come in here later and he's gone up a few levels, you'll see that by the time he gets to level 3, where you get the every other level one, he can now do 2d6 electricity. Ooh. Zap y'all. Anyway, yeah. So you can add that, and the same goes for, any of the feat ones that seem like they might have, additional uses. There's that Clan's Edge one, for example, where you can make 2 dagger strikes and then also do your kind of use your clan dagger in a parry mode, and it just allows you to have a reference saying, we'll go down here and throw it into the normal cantrip so you can kind of see it down there. And you can see this information for the character. You can always see, hey, yes, it does use 2 actions, so you have that visible real easily. And then when this character is ready to apply it and then go into his parry mode, you can just click that and it applies that circumstance bonus to Nario, and you have that ready. So again, you can toy around with this, take a look at it. If there's anything in there that's you think is missing or something I fudged up in the process of creating it, obviously feel free to come and nudge me and tell me, what you think of it and where you think there could be some improvements. But that's dwarves for now, and hopefully for those of you that want to have a small little module that kind of enhances the ability to play a dwarf, you'll be able to make use of this. And with things like elves and even some of the crazier races I'd like to get out there that we've gotten from some of the Lost Omens additions to the heritages. But dwarf is obviously one of the main ones, and it's out there now for anyone interested in grabbing it. Hope you enjoy.